Morning everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Louie's Garage. What are we doing today? Well, we are going to be working on my wife's Mini, the F56 generation Mini. And something that was picked up last Warren Fitness was that the current rear bump stops have perished and need to be changed. So that's what we'll be doing today. We'll show you how to change the bump stops. Alright, so first of all, on this generation of Mini, you'll find that there's usually locking wheel bolts around the car. So you'll need to find your lock key. So that's this one here. And then obviously loosen the wheels using the keys. Maybe don't drop the key on the ground. Okay, go. Just gotta get this on. Make sure it's on properly, and then loosen this up before we can loosen up the rest of the bolts. Go. Do the same on the other side. Alright, and then next we're going to jack up the car. The recommendation from everyone is to jack it up using that bolt up there. That bolts onto the rear subframe. Apparently that is quite strong. There's one on each side that you can use. So yeah, let's get the car jacked up, get the jack stands sitting under the car, and then we've got plenty of space to work on. Right, and then here, just under the car, just before the rear wheel, there are some jacking stand points that you can use to put your jack stands on. Give them a wiggle, make sure everything's okay, and then we can take the wheels off. And with the wheel off, you can see the extent of the problem here. The bump stop is completely disintegrated. So yeah, it looks like we'll have to take off some of this arch liner to get access to some bolts further up there. Alright, so now we've just got 3 E-Torx bolts up there. I'll tell you soon exactly what measurement they are. Yeah, and then there's this bolt down here, which is an E20. And I can't get to the other side of this bolt. So there's a nut on the other side. Hopefully that's like a captive nut that they've welded on, because otherwise I can't get to the other side. We'll see. So yeah, I was able to loosen the bolt down the bottom there pretty successfully using my breaker bar. Seems pretty straightforward. So I'll get that bolt completely, probably not completely off, but just mostly loose. And then I'll start working on the bolts up the top. Up the top here we've got E12 bolts. So we're going to get those loosened up and get the shock ready to take out. Alright, there we go, we got the shock out of the car. So all we need to do now is undo this little cap at the top, and you'll see there's a bolt that holds the top of the shock, this little mount, to the rest of the shock. So what we need to do is actually use some pass-through spanners or pass-through ratchet, and we'll be able to get that off. I'll show you how to do that. Right, so here's my setup. I've got a 5/8 inch pass-through socket. So that's what it looks like. It basically has a hole through the middle, and so does the ratchet, so that you can get another tool to hold on to the middle. The reason I've got a 5/8 is because I don't have a 16mm, because 5/8 and 16 are pretty much the same, so I guess they decided not to include a 16mm in the kit. I just have a Crescent branded kit of pass-through sockets. Seems to work pretty well. And this is my first time using them as well. And then you just put a 5mm hex head on the other side. So yeah, let's give this a go. I'm going to need both hands obviously, and see if we can take this nut off. Alright, that actually worked like a treat. So now I can just spin this nut off. Hopefully you can see that. And try not to touch the shaft of the shock as well. Brilliant. There we go. Here's the nut. Awesome. And the top of the shock. Don't lose this little spacer thing. It's very important. And then we can just slide off the old bump stop. There we go. Old bump stop gone. Right. And I think I'm just going to clean this up a little bit and then put the new one in. Rightio, so that is what the new one looks like. It's a very nice looking bump stop. And you just have to put it in like so. Looks much better than the old one, isn't it? Much better. And then we just have to do the opposite. So we have to pop the spring back on, put this back on, put the top mount back on, and then finally put the nut back on as well. Not too hard, is it? Just thread it on by hand first. Make it as easy as possible. Nice. And then we can start cranking on the socket as well. And then when you feel there's a bit of resistance and kind of everything is moving, that's when we can, it's actually now, that's when we can put the Allen key back in and hold on to it while we're tightening it now. Obviously you're not going to be able to get a torque wrench on this, so you know, just make it nice and tight would be my advice. Don't overdo it, don't do it too tight. Just make sure that you've got everything firmly in and firmly snug. There's no slippage of any tools or anything like that. Just put it all back on. There we go. Yeah, that should be tight enough. Awesome. Yeah, looking good. Look at that. Just like a new one, eh? Right, yeah, we just have to put this back in and then do the other side. Just one more thing before I put it back in. Don't forget the cap like I did. Luckily I hadn't tightened down the bolts yet, but yeah, make sure you put the cap back on as well. And then reinstall everything. Alright, there we go. That's what it looks like when it goes in. I still need to show up this bottom bolt, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks much better than before. Alright, you want to torque the bottom bolt to 155 Newton meters. I need both hands for that, but yeah, trust me, I've torqued it to 155 Newton meters. It's a big bolt. Alright, and then these three bolts up the top here, we are supposed to torque to 28 Newton meters. There we go, 28, no problem. Alright, and then put the wheel arch liner back in, and we're ready to do the same on the other side. Alright everyone, and that is going to be it for today. You can see the new bump stops just in there, which are looking really, really good. and I've put the wheels back on, I've torqued up the wheels, so that's a job well done. Hopefully that's not too difficult. You can see I did everything in the driveway. I didn't even bother taking the car in the garage, so you can definitely do this DIY as long as you got the right tools. Alright, see you next time, catch you on the next episode, bye.